The title is The Immigrant, and this is a stone piece which I carved. And actually this is depicting me, my wife, my son and my little daughter when we came to the United States. This was the way whenever I am doing anything in my work, I am dealing with humanity. And this is my aim, and this is the way I am, and this is the way I am working. Back to Hungary in 1947. I was drafted in 1941, October the 21st, and I came back 1947 from the Russian Gulags. And that's where I found out that time I lost everybody. Only meantime was keeping me alive in the prison camp, the hatred. I hated so much. I was just dreaming I am going to go back to Hungary in the top of a tank, and I am going to shoot everybody with machine gun in my hand, and that was keeping me alive. Until one day, in 1947, August 11, when I found out I lost everybody. And that was the turning point of my life, because I was thinking that time, wait a minute, I am going to do the same thing what they did to me. There is no such a thing anymore, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, because I can't pay back my mother's eye with an innocent child's eye. So it is a circle, the hatred. And I was the justified hatred, only I stopped hating. And since then, I learned you should and you have to embrace each other. There are no differences between races, and here we are coming to my mind, which was in 1947 I came up with, and now we are experiencing, especially this week, when we elected a black president of the United States. So we are going slowly on the way to the right direction, and my aim is just to be one little particle sand on the ocean beach. There's the ultimate friendship, which they are learning about. This has happened in a time in 1943 when I was driven by the Russians in the snowfield, and one comrade wanted to sit down just for a little while, only it means if you sit down you fell asleep, because you were driven on the snowfield, and we were driven for 5 days, 4 nights, no food, no drink, no nothing, just the 3-foot snow. And I had the strength to go after the officer to making the path on the snowfield, and the guy wanted to sit down just for a minute or two, and I didn't let him to sit down, and I picked him up and I carried almost a day in my shoulder. This is the way, because otherwise he would be dead. On the end of the line, the military was shooting the people who couldn't go because the number was important. Probably you know that how it is when they are getting prisoner of wars. The number is important. It makes no difference it is alive or dead. And the system was, who couldn't walk, they shot him and throw it into the truck. So it didn't happen. The whole idea is, already I was 75 pounds that time. and still I had the strength. And here they are talking about in the book, in psychology, what is the meaning of the strength, the physical strength or the mind. In 1973, when I first time was going to the Aguda Sachim synagogue in high holidays, one gentleman was going up to the pulpit and asking money for a Holocaust memorial. And I was downstairs on the row, and my son was with me already, my 6-year-old son, when we came to the United States. No, he was 22, and he said, when I said I am going to make the memorial, and he said, "Daddy, are you crazy? I know you were working all in your life as an artist. You never made a sculpting piece." I said, "You don't know me yet." No other way I would be here and talking to you if I wouldn't have a determination and I wouldn't have hope. When I was on a situation in a certain way, when you are nakedly laying on the floor, the so-called hospital in Russia, and I had to go down from the second floor to the first floor, to the ground floor, to the toilet. And we were laying on the bare floor naked. There was no bed, no nothing, just we were, and I was accomplished. I bought from a guy who was in the situation. I gave my day bread, and he gave me a German coat, a overcoat. And that was what I was laying on that floor. And that way I had the typhus and other sickness and lice and everything, whatever you want. Only that time when I had to eat a little piece of bread, only I couldn't. And I was thinking about my dear mother's chocolate cake. And I had to eat that little piece because this was my mother's chocolate cake. And that was which was saving my life. When I had to go down to the toilet, and I went there, which was, the urine was floating up to the knee, and meantime it was stacked up, the dead people, 3 in 1 row in cross. And I said to myself, no, I am never going to be like that. I have to tell, excuse me, I have to tell to the next generations how and why I was situated on this life, why I had to suffer so much. I have to tell and I have to survive. All the time I am saying and celebrating life, because the life is celebration. I was making the idea to not to hate, because even jokingly don't say to each other, you know, it is a saying in the teenager girls, "Oh, I hate you." I said, don't ever say it. Now, you know how I got paid? I got paid when I am going in the next year, I am going to the school, and there is one little teenager running to me and saying, "Mr. Tibor, wonderful you are here. You know, last year you told me not to say I hate you. Since then I never said it. That's my pay."